what do you expect as far as picks and bans are concerned?
Standard UVa LCS is the target ban.
Yeah.
So Vel'Koz was like a really big force in that last game. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a ban coming out from Seasons Speeders on that Vel'Koz. Other than that, I think we'll probably see a lot of the same stuff. Okay, the Kindred ban also comes through. That makes sense.
Yeah, Sariel got super farmed. Like, Mitter just going to only died once or twice that entire game, but Sariel had a huge impact, and really, it was something I was talking about during the cast, was just kind of the way the teams scale. It was like AoE versus single target crowd control.
Yeah.
And certainly Kindred very effective. And that Vel'Koz ban too?
Yeah, one of the things that I thought was interesting at the end of that was the damage taking graph.
Yeah. Oh, music's too loud? Alright. Yeah, so we turned down the music volume a bit. Sounds like game sounds a little bit too loud, so I tried to reduce it. That actually didn't do anything. Okay, so maybe that should be a little bit better, a little bit more balanced. Of course, we're also obviously doing this at a live venue, so we have to make sure technically all the technical things are worked out one way or another. And, now we're into picks and bans. We're into the picks part. We see Malphite for one side, and it looks like the Seasons Greeters, or I should say, excuse me, the Edge Fanclub is going to be running Caitlyn Soraka.
Yeah, Soraka's a really strong pick, especially in our meta. And I guess Seasons Greeters wanted to steal that Malphite away from the Legend.
Is that something he plays often?
Seasons Greeters top lane? Is that your question?
Or no, the Legend, or Sexy.
Actually, Mundo, I think, is
yeah.
like one of his mains, and so he's going to get to
That's
play
open.
this game. And I think Mundo is actually a pretty good matchup into Malphite.
Yeah, it's a tank matchup, It's not like
pound on each other, yeah.
Certainly. That being said, though, look at this front line from the Seasons Greeters. That's
lots of tanks.
Pretty beefy. Again, we see Nautilus probably going to be support Nautilus. It wasn't a problem last game, but support Nautilus only provides you a little, a very focused amount of crowd control, and it's almost always single target. So I like the fact that they balance that out with, AoE both in the form of Malphite and Zac.
Yeah, and they have a lot of wombo combo. If they can get them bunched up, they're going to be able to keep them CC'd for a really long time. So we'll have to see what carries come through to really capitalize on that CC chain.
Yeah. Hold on, I just realized something. This will make it a little bit more pleasurable for the viewing experience. Let's do this. Ta-da! Alright, there we go. So, of course, no overlays, unfortunately, however, this way. You guys don't have to see the rest of Karuna's desktop, or laptop, I should say. Technically, wait a second. That's a great question. Late September,
Yes.
why is the desktop of a laptop not called a laptop?
I don't know.
Dude, that's like... For real, though. What if desktops never get used anymore? Because we just have these super microprocessors that you just put on laptops. Like, they have like USB computers, right? They literally have, and they're making the second generation too. So it's just like a USB. You plug it into a monitor, and boom, computer. Would you still call it a desktop if that's the case?
I think so.
Because you could put it on a desk, but you could put it on your lap. You could put it you could watch TV on a computer in your hand, which would make it a tablet. That would be like the future technology.
But it would still be called a desktop.
Really?
Sort of. I think it's
Is that just tradition now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my professional opinion on this.
Your professional. Interesting.
As a long-time computer.
What's your professional opinion on these team comps? So they have tanks, but it looks like Seasons Greeters are going to answer the tanks with a ton of damage too.
Yeah. Zillion mid?
Yeah.
Mid lane Zillion.
That's GBM.
He's there.
Welcome to NA again. Welcome to UVA. UVA greater than NA confirmed, or at least comparable.
Yeah. And I think our mid or disco new player is actually is that correct?
Oh, you're right. He's a European mid laner.
Yeah. So we'll see if that EU mid lane talent just translates.
Yeah,
into
maybe.
his
It's just gained my mom impression.
Yeah,
Maybe Yeah, maybe the European players should be restricted. Maybe that should restrict imports. You know, you can only have.
Yeah.
Certainly something to think about in future LCS tournaments. So we'll see now. We've got the spectator delay to wait on.
Okay.
Before we get into
talk
this game.
about the team comps a little bit.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
So I think with the Ed Sheeran Fanclub 2.0, the damage is a lot more kind of like damage over time, I guess. It's like not as front loaded as the season greeters, which I think is going to be interesting because like it's almost like a protect the Caitlyn comp.
Yeah, I definitely
think so. Zilean can function in a very similar way to how Lulu mid functions. And with Soraka, with like extra heals and then that big beefy front line, it should be interesting to see whether or not the Caitlyn can carry, because there's like not a whole lot of other damage sources. Shyvana can go off depending on how farmed they get, and we did see that Sariel did get super farmed last game, and was like a real carry threat. So
yeah, well, I mean, the nice thing is, I like how you likened Lulu to Zilean, because two of their spells are kind of similar. The ultimate versus like giving HP, and then not entirely similar, but then also the speed ups. Oftentimes you'll see Shyvana and Lulu run together just because the Shyvana goes in with Lulu speed, gets ultimate off. So
definitely
it's like a Caitlyn carry composition, but they also have the added damage of Shyvana, I guess, and then Zilean also does a decent amount on his own.
Right, and I think that's smart because when you have things like Malphite and Lux and Nautilus, there's a lot of ways for Caitlyn to just kind of die. And if you had all your eggs in that basket, it's like a really dangerous game to play. Yeah,
that's definitely like hyper carry compositions completely on one champion are certainly very risky, especially when you're up against the engage. There's even the potential for a catch with like a Lux biting or something. If Caitlyn just gets blown up, that is not good.
Right, and I think that's something like normally when you see a protect the AD carry comp, it's a Janna and it's a Lulu, and both of those things you can extend the health pool of your carry by like 1,000.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Soraka and Zilean. Zilean, obviously, you have that ult potential to bring them back up, but in the what?
Depends if the Soraka survives. If the Soraka gets caught, however, I mean, I like the fact that Soraka Zilean is hilarious because Soraka goes down to 1 HP because of her own healing, gets ulted by Zilean, boom, back to full HP.
Right. All I'm trying to say is that there's a lot more potential for bursting the AD carry out when you don't have those shields.
That is very true. No, you're absolutely right. I just think it's interesting, just the different styles of even hyper carry compositions you can play in the game.
Yeah, and I think it should be interesting to see how this one plays out.
So we will see. We've talked a lot about Ed Sheeran's Fanclub, and obviously now they're headed into the second game. The favorite simply from how we've seen them play the first game. What about this composition? What do you think of the triple frontline double carry comp?
So I think it's interesting that both teams are kind of more tank oriented.
Yeah.
And we see that, like, generally tank comps tend to do a lot better in the late game. And that last game was a very late game focused game, to use the word game at least 4 or 5 times. So, I mean, I'd expect this game to go long again, which I'm sure is what everyone at home was hoping for.
Yeah.
There's another 50 or
5 game series with 50 to 70 minute games.
Right.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Most finals they're better if they take place over the course of 2 days. So we're doing our best to extend this one.
Well, this would certainly be a record as far as games that ended or started one day and that ended. As far as a single series, I mean, considering we started at 5:30 and 7:30 right now, we'll see.
One can hope.
One game at a time, though, for now. Ed Sheeran's Fanclub, obviously, with the lead. They only need 2 more games to end this series. And now we see Seasons Greeters fighting back. Now, the Seasons Greeters were certainly able to find advantages in that first game.
Yeah. They had a lot of potential to win that game. They were very far ahead.
What do you think? Maybe some timidness as far as shot calling is concerned?
I think when you have like a more inexperienced team that hasn't played together a lot and doesn't have a lot of experience making what are really like, you know, tough calls, especially with the prizes that are on the line, doing things like Baron baits and rushing Baron early in the game, which is I think how they needed to close out that last game. Making that decision is tough.
Yeah.
Like, you're the captain and you recognize like how much your team wants to win, and you just kind of want to slow it. Like, you don't want to make that mistake that loses your team the game, that Baron throw that loses your team the game.
Yeah, certainly.
But then what you end up happening is just a 25-minute throw, right?
Yeah.
Where you just slowly bleed out.
And you know, it's also so important the way that death timers work now is that the middle game is just such like, it's a very strange time to fight simply because of how long death timers are now, and the turrets are so weak.
Yep.
That's why we see games tend to go either very, very snowbally or super, super long, because the mid game is such a risky juncture to fight now, as far as the meta game is concerned, that we see teams just kind of farming up as far as that's concerned. Speaking of farming, the Legend's certainly not going for farming. He's going for the harass. He does have the level 2.
Yeah.
Trades evenly, though. A lot of minions there in Tom's lane.
I think the minions probably did about 80% of that damage.
Yeah. Let's see how these lanes stack up. In the last game, we saw the top laners pretty much go even, but I want to say the Legend died a couple of times more than Tom Coles did that game. And Tom Coles had a fairly strong start. I remember at one point he had, you know, a 4-1, 4-2, 0 KDA. And it was doing a lot of damage on the Garen, but he sort of fell off as the game went on.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of interesting at the end seeing Garen just spinning on their carries like pretty endlessly.
But now the Legend is on his #1 comfort champion.
Mundo.
Yes.
Mundo did see some nerfs since the last time that we saw the Legend on Mundo. But he has a lot of proficiency with that champion, and it has been a target ban that a lot of teams have used against the
We'll see how the Legend, aka Sexy, does in the second game. For now, a gank at the bot lane, Barcode Guardian. He's getting ganked, so Shyvana is doing as much damage as he can, but the thing is, Shyvana, Soraka, Caitlyn, that is not a lot of card control.
Certainly not. I think it's important, though, that the Shyvana is applying pressure early, because I think a trap a lot of Shyvanas fall into is that they just power farm a little too hard, and when you have a ganking jungler like Zac on the other side, where your team can just fall behind before you're able to make an impact. So I think it says something. It keeps the lanes honest. They know that Shyvana's not just going to hard farm until her Devour is stacked or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I also think it kind of speaks to the player, because last game we saw Sariel go very, very farm heavy.
Yeah, so there's, I guess, multiple styles that they're willing to pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kindred ganks are kind of strange in how they work.
I think she's pretty strong ganking, honestly. Her slow is so effective.
Yeah, and you can put out a ton of damage really early. It's like not really what you would expect.
And the fact that your gap closer is on a 2-second cooldown when you're in your W, it's surprising for sure. Of course, then you also sometimes get those lucky bugs in the LCS games where you do like 7,000 damage or like 700 off one auto or something.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I wouldn't bank on bugs though.
No.
Unless you're playing Kazakhs. In which case, I guess, unless you could.
Because he's a bug. An insect.
Exactly. Technically, I know spiders aren't insects, but is Elise a bug?
I think so.
Are insects synonymous with bugs?
No, I think a bug is just any kind of small, maybe you call it. I don't think it has to be. I don't think they're the same.
Okay.
Quote,
in your expert of animal biology.
An entomologist. So
entomology. There you go. You know the word at least.
I'm just hoping that anyone who does know the word doesn't know if that's right or not.
Yeah. I'm just gonna end up meaning a spider doctor or something.
Yeah, I do like reconstructive surgery for spiders.
What would that be? Arachnid ND? I don't know, like arachnid reconstructologist? Who knows?
Alright, well, to get back
There's
to the
nothing
game.
happening! There's nothing happening in this game, late September! What is there to talk about? Oh, look, they're farming!
Do you think she'll get the cannon? I think there's a good chance.
Triss or Caitlyn? I think Triss is gonna miss. Oh wait, Targon. That's cheating. Ooh,
Yeah.
good dodge.
We'll not count that.
Wait, cannon? Ooh, we'll never know! Oh, why? Oh, spectator camera. Why does it always go to the top lane? The spectator camera loves the top lane.
Top lane's just pounding on each other. That's what happens when you have two tanks, is they're just like constantly trading.
Like oh my god. Legend pops his ultimate, Top pulls, doesn't have mana, does have his ultimate, but he's not going to use it.
Any mana. I guess he's just going to absorb this wave and then go back and TP up.
Oh, missed that one. Got that one? Got that one. Can I get the small one?
I think he's going to get all these.
No.
10 out of 10.
2. Not a single one. Oh, 0 out of 4. That's commentator curse right there. You said 10 out of 10? You know, he wouldn't have gotten 10 anyway because there's only 4. But, 4 out of 4.
4 out of 4 with rice.
Or pizza. No pizza.
Not on Super Bowl Sunday.
Not on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, we get the binding.
That's a lot of damage. Minotaur does have ultimate available. You got really excited.
It looked more exciting than it ended up being. I was like, wait. No.
Oh well.
But okay, we do see Zac. Okay, they also ping out Zac in the mid lane. Looks like that Season's Greeters might be going for a gank here. Okay, they're backing off. I would have been interested to see that counter gank with the Shyvana ult. Yeah, that's like a really strong
2v2 situation. Zilean certainly doesn't like getting engaged on, but then the re-engage with Shyvana, especially because she's so good at fighting.
Yes, good at fighting.
What?
I mean, it's true.
That was grammatically correct or whatever.
No, but fighting, like, that's just like, what if a champion was bad at fighting? Why would you play a champion who was bad at fighting?
They're called utility-based champions.
I guess so.
Like a duel. You don't take Soraka to 1v1 a Shyvana.
Oh! Look, okay, wait.
Oh, the ultimate coming in the legend actually does enough. Yes, he has his ult. Oh no, top goals! He flashed forward too! Oh my goodness, I wasn't gonna like get hype about that because I knew the kill wouldn't happen, and lo and behold, Tom flashes forward, still isn't gonna kill, but in the bot lane, Lyral getting engaged on, gonna go into Soraka, the hop coming in the flash. Oh my god, that flash into hook was super awkward, but the focus was not there and the teleport coming in. The lack of focus means Season's Greeters do not get a single kill.
That's a really disappointing gank for them because they invested a lot of resources in that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like they're gonna get punished too heavily.
Ooh, boy, Shyvana's here and Zilean's coming around. Ult! You okay?
I am. I just died.
No. Apparently, Zilean didn't, or the Soraka didn't. Oh, hook gonna land. Lyral, here comes a counter engage. Soraka still has a little bit of HP to give. Barcode Guardian without flashes is in big trouble. A good knockback with the flash from Lyral. Gonna flash over the silence pool. The ult from Caitlyn is gonna get it, and now Wildest Squirrel is in trouble. Can Tara land the E? One more E is not gonna do it, not gonna hit. And that is gonna be first blood still over to Ed Sheeran's Fanclub version 2.0.
Yep, and that's that counter engage that we were talking about earlier with the Shyvana. It's just...
She's really good at fighting.
Yeah.
She's not good at starting fights, but...
That's true. Soraka, bad at fighting. Shyvana, good at fighting.
Soraka, bad at, pretty much everything except healing. Yeah, but it's crazy how good she is at healing, and she's played the legend now. He's in trouble. He does have flash. Flash away from the slow. He's going to dodge this binding.
A little premature.
Well, here we go. He's going to get hit by the binding. He's going to be able to ult himself because he does have it up, I think. No, it's just come up, but it's not going to be in time. Tom, FYA, Coles gets that slap and picks up that kill. It is now 1-2-1.
Is the bot tower down? No, bot tower for computers is up. So it looks like they're actually going to get more out of this than they lost on the bot side. I expect... Oh, maybe not.
Zilean's
coming. Okay.
Zilean doesn't have ultimate available though, and he might not be able to get these minions. Oh,
I imagine
there we go.
Bomb should be fine.
Boom. Oh.
Okay. So pretty even trade, but I mean it wasn't really a trade, but a series of events that ends up in some level of symmetry, or what would you call it?
That was way more poetic than it was. A series of events in which actions transcribed, however, resulting in the same outcome. Casting 101, guys, with Seamers in late September. Anyway, yeah, it ended up kind of, working out a little bit even. The gold lead still in favor of Ed Sheeran's Fanclub after that first blood and a couple of small minion leads. It doesn't even look like they have any leads. Why do they have more gold?
Well, first blood and then 2 assists.
I'm confused. I still feel like they should.
Maybe CS looks pretty. Well, that's kind of countered by the mid lane. Yeah, maybe that's just Nautilus, just the Targon's gold.
The supports have the exact same amount of gold. That's weird.
I have no idea.
That's. That being said, though, still not a huge
Must be a
difference.
bug.
Kazakhs, how do you get in there? Oh, Libero, good slow there. The ultimate gonna come out from Nala Soraka, however, not focused at all.
Oh, that's an
Can
excellent
he heal the Caitlyn enough? I do not think so. As one thing Soraka is not good at is peeling off the enemy champions. And nice gank there from Botox. Picks up another kill for the season's leaders.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Zac game. It can come from anywhere. You think you're safe, and he just flies like an entire screen away.
Oh, speaking of flying, Kaiser, what are you doing? The slow is going to be applied. The flash away from Kaiser.
Oh
and
my
a
God.
crazy binding. Mido Disco Nuno taking aggro now, and it looks like Botox might still be going for something in this mid lane. He's going to get the knockup. No, he misses, and misses the slow too. Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What was that ultimate from Kaiser?
I think he just wanted to clear the wave. He was like, I'm going down. It's time for some CS.
The ironic thing is he had this amazing flash binding play. If he had
Yeah.
an ultimate, I think he might have been able to get it.
Maybe he just misclicked.
It
does
happens.
happen.
You know, when a giant freaking dragon just jumps out of nowhere, sometimes you tend to get a little bit jumpy.
You're like, throw my laser at it.
Not even at it, you just, the first thought you have is throw a laser, you just don't care what it is. Just throw!
He shot the right direction though. Like it was towards the enemy's base as opposed to towards his own. So he had
Good
that
thing there's no friendly fire, and good thing the laser doesn't hit structures anyway, but
Can you imagine if there was friendly fire?
Yo, this
Lux
game
would not be a very good champion.
This game would just not be fun. Can you imagine like trying to kite back as AD carry, like accidentally chunking your teammate for like 1,000 damage?
Yes.
Like your support is peeling for you, and you like a Draven and accidentally crit like your support's a rocket just kill her. That would make for a great game mode though, like a free for all, like League of Legends.
I agree. I would like.
Or
that.
two versus two on like Crystal Scar. Wait, aren't there 5 objectives on the Crystal Scar?
There's 5 little.
Yeah. So what if
Control towers.
you made
The official
control
word.
towers? I do not think that's the official
It
word.
is.
I don't think so, buddy.
Yeah. I'm actually an avid Dominion player.
Yeah, really?
Believe it or not.
So you're a bugologist. You know a lot about computers.
No, okay, I'm not even joking about this. Like, if I ever want to test out a champion, like most people like take it to normals, which is the smart thing to do because like you learn valuable things
And
like
you
how their
play
auto
against
attacks
humans.
work. Dominion, you play against humans. I go to Dominion and I play that champion.
All right, if you see a human with the name barcode or a bunch of random numbers, those are likely bots.
If you
just
play Dominion
saying.
as much as I do, which is admittedly not that much,
Ooh, Tom Coles. Oh, okay, he's
miles
fine.
away. You actually get to play against people.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I have like 900 Dominion MMR, so I'm kind of.
Oh, I thought you said I had games. I was about to be. Super
I have
impressed.
like 40 games.
That's like oh, okay.
maybe more than that. This season I have 0.
I played a game mode on Dominion. It was like Capture the Flag or something. Oh, Lyrel, he's gonna get caught up again. Another beautiful hook.
These are really
The
good
turret
hooks.
is alive and it's doing a lot of damage to Botox, who's still tanking it. Turret will go down, but Mido Disco Nuno has finally arrived. Gonna ult to keep Lyrel alive if he were to fall. And the teleport coming in from not Shyvana, Mundo as well. Laser from Lux is not gonna do much, and that actually is gonna be it. But it looked like something could have happened. The turret got taken down, and gold is now pretty much even.
Yeah, and I was happy to see that the Lux laser was directed at a person.
Was it? We didn't see.
I assume.
One could only assume. You know, at the very least, he aimed it towards the enemy base.
2 out of 2 on that front. He's
2 out of
consistently aims at the enemy base.
If only aiming at enemy bases were how you do
Will
them.
we see another hook?
We do. So Zariel has his ultimate available. Also has flash if he needs to use it.
Did he flash through?
Nope, he just jumped away. Away, flew away.
I think it's.
Oh, ouch! Poor dragon. Wow, the squirrel. Taken very, very low there.
This is a situation where you're happy the enemy team doesn't have a Teemo. So you can actually walk away without worrying about the game.
Oh, goodness.
Some high level
That's-
analysis.
Well, I wasn't going to mention how high level it was, but you're right, Zach. The enemy team doesn't have a Teemo. They don't also have Aatrox, Akali. We can just go through the entire alphabet of champions they're not running and just talk about that.
Pretty much the only shortcoming to their comp is how they don't have all those champions.
Yeah, I feel like they could be using more Draven, honestly. Draven would be running out the comp pretty well.
You're a Draven main, is that correct?
Yeah,
Seamus?
yeah, pretty much. I could try to deny it, but yeah.
I think that's something to be proud of. Draven's
Really?
probably one of the more difficult. Has to be the most difficult.
I think,
80 carry.
Yeah, I think he and Orianna are probably two champions that are, like the hardest champions of the game to like master, I guess. And
There's
not
a
even
lot
master.
of there's a lot of nuance to Orianna for sure.
Yeah. Well, the dragon going down. The gold pretty much even though, but that is first dragon in favor of Ed Sheeran's fan club versus first turret of the game was taken a go by the Greeters.
Mm-hmm.
These teams pretty much in deadlock, almost 17 minutes in.
Yeah. Okay, so if we expect this game to go longer, Seamus, how do you expect it to kind of pan out?
Complete 5v5,
Yeah.
like 60-minute game situation. Oh, hold on. Botox is going to go for the gank. The Legend is going to get knocked up into the turret, flashes away. He's going to pop his ultimate, and the Soraka ult might be able to heal him, but the question is, are those heals going to be enough? Laser coming in, and the Morellonomicon onto the Legend, but he is so damn tanky. He's going to keep running away, and he's not going to hit. Archon out of focus from this bot lane. Barcode guarded Wild Scroll. They are going to be able to pick up the kill. Now Sario looking to avenge his fallen support. The shield coming onto Barcode Guardian might be enough to keep them off, though. And now it's the members of Season's Greeters on the chase. Sario gets knocked up again. Is he going to have to flash this time? It looks like he might. It looks like he might not even get the chance. This revive from the Zillion is not going to be so very powerful since he doesn't have much AP, but that stun certainly was. And with that being said, it's only one kill, whereas it looked like Season's Greeters could have gotten much more.
Yeah, they get a lot of summoners there too, which is nice. But at the same time, it almost looked like that should have been 2 or 3 kills.
Yeah,
And
on
they
that
got-
token, can they get any objectives, though? Wildest Girl, he's on Tristana, he's going to be working for this turret. It is going to be taken fairly low, but there's a decent amount of way clear. That being said, though, this is the middle outer turret falling in favor of the Season's Greeters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Ooh, Kaiser might be in trouble here. He's looking to push this wave out. Into the Biscuit. He's not going to get much here. He's actually out of mana, doesn't have his ultimate available, but here comes Archon V. Nothing doing there, and Kaiser playing very, very aggressively against this Caitlyn. Does not know that the enemy Shyvana is here. That's a lot of damage. Holy crap! And Lyril doesn't have its ultimate available. Sariel does get slain. That heated up turret was enough, and we should get a Kaiser Dragon Slayer Lux skin, because every time he's been dove under these turrets, he has taken Sariel down with some expert bindings.
That's true, and that's actually the fourth ult we've seen that's been directed at a person towards the enemy base. So
The
consistency.
meaningful statistics, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm keeping track of them all here.
Oh, the Legend. He does have his ultimate pops it very, very soon, and it's going to be just a-okay.
Okay, so we do see that. Oh, I mean, you can talk about Mundo.
I was just going to go on a tangent about how playing Mundo is, like, super, super fun.
Okay, well, I'll talk about the game then.
Okay. The game's supposed to be fun, man.
You know,
Why are you hating on fun?
fun's great.
Okay, anyway, what else is fun? Analysis is fun.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm here for, is analysis. Anyway, so we do see Season's Greeters is kind of pulling out to a little bit of a gold lead here, but it's definitely not significant. Nothing that Ed Sheeran's fan club couldn't overcome.
Right.
Especially, I mean, you saw last game they were able to come back from like a 7 or 8 game gold lead. So it's definitely well within their power to turn this around, but...
Oh my god, the damage! Soraka forced to flash and might still get slain. That's going to be one dead Soraka. Can they get her again? It looks like this will be an easy kill, and a little bit of overkill there. They wanted to kill 3 or 4 Sorakas.
Oh.
Speaking of killing people, Wild Scroll was taking aggro and stunned under that. So even in a 4v5 situation, maybe, just maybe, Ed Sheeran's fan club fancies a fight.
Yeah. To go back to that last point, I think one difference between this team comp that the Ed Sheeran fan club's running and the last one is that there's less wave clear. Ooh.
Oh, execute. One more hit? No.
Raptors are scary.
Raptors are scary. I thought that because the Raptors were ranged, that the second auto attack would have hit.
Mm-hmm.
That certainly would have been a kill, but he gets out alive. His 3-0 KDA right now is preserved.
Good. That's important. That's pretty much the only thing I play for, personally.
KDA.
Mm-hmm.
I just play for pretty much damage dealt at the end of the game.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, that's how I
as long
play
as-
Soraka, but everyone else KDA.
Well, what rank are you again? Do you have you know what? Yeah. You're a
bronze?
Heroes of the Storm player, right?
Yeah.
Not familiar with this game?
Dota 2,
Dota
all
2,
those things.
Dota 1, Warcraft 3.
Smite.
Might.
Heroes of Newark.
Oh, Legend is getting aggressed, and here comes Zach, but a teleport coming in, and it looks like Season's Greeters don't want any of that. They keep going for the Legend in these situations, but I feel like at this point he's simply just too tanky and going to be able to run away again. Or, what
He
the?
does have a kind of small health pool.
Hold on, he's going to be baiting them, but how well does he bait them? Knock up, he's taking a couple turret shots, but here comes a Zillion. Double stun, and the ultimate from Barker Guardian is going to come out onto mid or Disco Nunu. And even with those previous wounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand the ignite there. Maybe you just wanted to... No, I just don't understand it.
Back in the day, man, you used to get 5 ability power and attack damage.
I remember those days.
Oh, nice dodge there from Sariel. Maybe he's going to go into Kaiser here. He knows the enemy team is here. He simply does not care. That's a large amount of damage, and Kaiser gets taken down immediately by Sariel. Now looking for Botox. Can he get the red buff?
Passive
Red buff
is up.
applied. Passive is popped. But Barcode Guardian is down, and that's a double. Looking for the triple. The Malphite ultimate onto the backside will pick up a kill. And it looks like the triple kill in favor of Sariel. And oh, baby. Sariel has not always been the #1 player of Ed Sheeran's fan club, but so far this series, he has been looking like the straight-up MVP.
And that's what they need, because I think their highest ranked player, right, is
They're
their
mid laner.
Zillion.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Zillion can carry in a way,
Yeah.
but it's generally by enabling teammates.
Yeah.
And so if no one else steps up, then you have this champion who can do 600 damage and then run really quick away from the enemies.
You're right.
So it's definitely important that Shyvana is getting kills here, because that's how the team's going to win.
So we'll see. Haven't won just yet. They have, however, put the gold lead back in their favor.
Yep, it's really close though. And they're out ahead again.
Oh, good lord. Could you imagine if LCS broadcasts, every time the gold lead is like 100 gold apart?
Yeah.
If the caster just like, oh!
Or if it like flashed on the
Oh.
screen, like when one team took the
like,
lead.
yeah, like gold lead! Oh.
Everybody,
Yeah. So I'm glad that Riot has a little bit better production value than we do.
yeah.
A little bit.
They can show some level of restraint. Unlike us. Do you want to go back to talking about how fun Mondo is? 'Cause that was like, we didn't really fully explore that.
No, I mean, you run really fast. Oh, Zillion too. I think champions that run fast and also don't die
Yeah.
are fun.
So Mundo,
Zillion, Shyvana, all 3
Aaron?
champions.
I saw Garen earlier
Aaron
running
spins
a
fast.
lot.
I see. Like, I don't know about spinning. I signed up for the Beyblades Club when I was a kid.
Did you really?
I had a Beyblades Club, but anyway.
You
Dude,
did your
okay.
Beyblade Club?
Oh, goodbye, Soraka. Oh, great flash. Just kidding. Hello, Soraka. It's me. Anyway. Oh, he's landing another binding. He's gotten some really sweet bindings.
Yeah. That's important when you play with.
Yeah, I know he didn't really get a kill there, but he did get the support, and that's a Soraka flash too. Soraka definitely one of the best champions of the game to get rid of the flash.
Yeah.
Now the Legend is going really, really ham, but his backup isn't there. Can he kill Kaiser on his own? I'm not entirely sure. He certainly thinks he can. The binding is gonna land, but he's still very tanky. Tank line for the Season's Greeters, not as effective as 2 of them are stunned up. And Sariel's looking for the kill to backside. Botox is gonna try and ult him away, but Sariel's still going completely ham. Lux flashes, and that is gonna be the shutdown. Dragon killed by the Season's Greeters, but their health bars are dangerously low, and the Legend is looking for this one. Tom FYA Coles does not get taken down by the Caitlyn ultimate, but it looks like the Legend might go down. No, Soraka heals for 311 HP, and for the first time this game, it looks like Kaiser was not aiming that ultimate properly.
Yeah, I think if he had maybe moved it a degree or 2 towards the enemy base.
If only he had brought his compass.
Yeah, that's. I don't play a league game without a compass.
Yeah,
a protractor.
You know, for players of our caliber with our APM, we can put the protractor and compass on the screen while we're playing.
Yeah.
But it just looks like Kaiser isn't that caliber of a player. Unfortunate.
No, I mean, one advantage of his playstyle is that you don't get the pencil marks all over your monitor.
Whoa. You're telling me you don't use one of those cool graphing screens where you can just like erase it just by like...
I'm not made of cash, Seamus. I have to use pen and pencil.
Wow, that's pretty primitive.
Primitive? Not like I'm using rocks.
Well, if you were using rocks on a screen, then your screen would be broken, first of all. But, anyway. Sariel now, he's working on that Devourer completed that Devour. Actually completed it some time ago. Has the Hydra as well. The Titanic Hydra has Spectre's Cowl and Hull, man. Legend looking for Wada Squirrel.
Okay.
Has popped his ultimate. Is going to be taken very, very low. But the thing is, one does not simply kill a Mundo.
Nope.
The Legend keeps running away. Mido Disco Nuno is knocked up, and a Kaylin actually is going to get out with her E. Legend might go down. The Legend, does he go down? It looks like no. The Zillion ultimate enough to keep him alive. And now the rest of Ed Sheeran's fan club is here. Kaiser is slain by Sariel, and the ultimate from the Malphite is not in time to save him. And Ed Sheeran's fan club is looking to take this 2-0 with a very strong team fight. Can they get this ace here? I think they can late September. That is a 5-0 team fight, and Ed Sheeran's fan club find a huge lead in game number 2.
Yeah, I think they can get an inhibitor here. They might just go for Baron. No, they're confused. They don't know what
might
they
just
do.
go for both.
They can do both, but they can't do both
close.
at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I think if they had just pushed mid there, they could have then
Well,
backed off.
maybe
but
they
I'm not
just
sure.
want Baron in their turret. You know, that's certainly a ton of gold.
Yeah. And then they can rotate bot here if they want.
Wow, this is the second time. Not as dramatic of a fashion. But the season's greeters have found gold leads. They just can't retain them against this team.
Yeah, I think Shyvana is just a really strong pick when she gets going.
Yeah.
It's like really hard to slow her down. And I'm interested to see the damage taken by Mundo because I'm sure it's just immense.
Yeah.
They've been trying to focus him down, and every single time he's got the Zillion ult,
Doesn't work, yeah.
plus his ult, which is just...
And Soraka heals too. I mean, Soraka ulted that fight from long range, probably came in a little bit of heals. Spirit Visage as well, doubles it. He's just completed Warmogs.
Yep.
And
Mundo build.
for as much damage as, you know, Season's Greeter have, they have decent hyper carries. Both Tristana and Lux are very strong come late game. But it's not something like a Vayne or a Kog'Maw, where the damage you're doing is HP shredding. Without a Blade of the Rune King, it's not going to be that effective. So the
very
Legend
true.
is just such a great tank line.
Yeah, like Lux, she combos
Like,
Mundo,
look-
it's going to be like...
He's taking 5 auto attacks. He's going to take a lot of damage here, but that's exactly what the Ed Sheeran's fan club is looking for here. Unless they can finally pick up the skill, I don't know if they can. He's going very, very low.
Okay.
The Legend, though, ulted by Zillion, and Mido Disco Nunu getting caught now. Ed Sheeran's fan club are on the retreat as they lost their mid lane, they lost their 80 carry, and without any carries to back them up, the Legend will finally go down as well. Sariel's been pushing this entire time, but that's the first fight we've seen Season's Greeters win, and that is off of knowing that the members of Ed Sheeran's fan club weren't grouped. Let's see how much they can get off of this.
Yeah, and I mean, would you see they have the Baron buff mid, so it's going to be a little bit harder to push against that.
Yeah.
But that was against a Baron up team. So admittedly, it was a 4v5.
Yeah.
But just in terms of like not looking at, you know, like what that means at a broader scale, like towards the team's effectiveness in team fights, that's like a huge swing for them, right? Because that Baron buff was going to be pushing inhibitors down.
Yep.
And now they got to turn around and say, we're pushing your turrets down.
And you know, maybe just cockiness there from the Legend, because every time he's been engaged on so far, his team has won these fights. So perhaps he was thinking, oh, there's no way you're going to engage on me since I have my team here.
It's possible. I think the key turning point there was the Zac blob of Zillion on top of Nunu.
Yeah.
And there's a fair amount of
The
AoE
let's bounce. The
from
ultimate.
yeah, the ultimate.
Yeah.
But AoE that they were directing at the Legend.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think then like a very quick switch of focus targets onto Zillion after Zillion ulted Mundo kills Zillion and lets them just kind of roll up that fight.
That being said, though, I mean, not only well played by Season's Greeters, maybe a bit of a mistake from Mido Disco Nunu to go that close to his Mundo.
Yeah, I think he was probably trying to get bombs on the back line and just kind of backfired.
Looking for something here. The binding will go just short of Archon, and that's the nice thing about the Zillion Soraka combo. Zillion can speed up Soraka so she can try and stay alive for as long as she possibly can. Now the Legend is still pushing the top lane, so maybe the Season's Greeters go for something. Sariel is also going to start pushing this mid lane, and one teleport has been used. So maybe that's the game that Ed Sheeran's fan club are just going to play. They're going to keep trying and spreading the Greeters thin and keep going with the split push.
I think that makes a lot of sense, especially since the Lux teleport is not super effective at stopping the Shyvana.
Yeah.
Because she can just dive around the turret. There's potential, of course, for the binding to come out. But
Which
she's
we
so
have
tanky.
seen,
We
to
have,
be
yeah.
fair.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good turret bindings by the Lux. But it's just kind of one of those really awkward things to teleport to defend. I think if you're already there and you don't
It's
give them
okay,
that
yeah.
4 seconds to figure out how they want to try to engage on you, then teleporting to the team fight is something that Lux can do really effectively.
Well, we'll see what happens. Blue buff will be secured by Super Scooters. Gonna give that over to Kaiser. Yep, easy peasy. Sarah's, excuse me, Archangels completed, fully stacked. Part of it's done as well.
Who are we looking at? Oh, the Zillion?
Yeah, he's got it up to Saracen Racing.
Okay.
I guess, what are our eyes? Where should we keep our eyes as far as next team fight is concerned? You know, there's a 5,000 gold lead now for the fan club, but do we expect to maybe see a Baron bait? Do we expect to see a group up from either side?
So Season Scooter's bot lane is gonna slow push towards.
Oh, the Legend is going to get engaged on again. This is the Mundo, so he's very tanky, but the question is for how long is Shyvana's foot pushing once again. Bojack is taking a lot of damage, and Legend forced to flash away. The ultimate for Nautilus will land on a Kate. The laser is going to go just wide, though. It looks like Sheeran's fan club are still trying to kite this back. Shiraka's been healing this front line this entire time, and that's an inhib turret going down. A huge stun. This could be the turnaround for Sheeran's fan club as the Legend finally gets ulted by Zillion, and the re-engage from Bojack. Does this mid-disco Nuno go down? Yes, he does. But this inhibitor, this base, these Nexus turrets this entire time have been going. Where is our split push cam? Riot, please. Sariel is looking to try to end this game right here and right now as Lyral 6 kills Barcode Guardian. Lyral 6 and Kaiser 1v1. Lyral 6 gets the kill. Oh my god, Sariel might just be able to end the game right here. Malphite does not do any damage. Where is Zax? Zax is blob mode, so Sariel. What the heck?
It might not be over.
Hold on, Sariel's taking a lot of damage. Botox gets slain, and Sariel's still on the Nexus. There's no way Tom can do this. And Expecting in game number 2 puts Sheeran's fan club up 2-0 in this best of 5.